This is an instruction on CodeNames. We're going to go over a two-player game option. Step one is we want to set up the table like this, laying out these cards randomly in a 5x5 pattern. 5 across and 5 down. Make sure when you're taking the cards out of the bags, you flip them around just to mix them up as you go. That's step one. Step two is we're going to need a key. A key are these cards right here. You're going to randomly take one and place it in the stand near it. Now in a two-player game, you're going to have one person be the spy master, and the other person is going to be the field operative. The field operative cannot see this key, so make sure if you're the spy master, you have it pointed at your direction. The key tells you who is on what team. As you can see, the blue and the reds, and then the black is the spy. On the key card, notice along the edge is the color. They're either red or blue. This indicates which team is going to start. The starting team has to guess 9 words, and the second team has to guess 8 words. On the board here, it identifies which words each team has to guess correctly. So as you can see across the top, these 3 words, the blue has to guess correctly, and on the bottom, these 3 words, the red has to guess correctly. And of course, this changes depending on the card that you pick up. Each team has 8 agent cards, 8 blue ones, 8 red ones. The double agent is red and blue. So whichever team starts, because they have to guess the additional word, that's the one that goes on the starting team. So for example, if red's going to start, you're going to flip it to red and put it with the red cards. There are also 7 innocent bystander cards. The innocent bystander cards and the assassin should be kept in between where both the spy master can reach them easily, so between us. So in this, we're going to have red start, and this is going to be the team we're going against. And in a two-player game, the spy master is going to control these. And we are working together. In this game, the spy master's job is to give one-word clues to which of these words goes with their team. So in the two-player game, the spy master is going to give words based on the red locations here. So for example, torch. Now you can't say torch, you have to give one word. So you may say castle or something like that. Now you also may give clues that relate to multiple words, and then you can knock off a couple of words at the same time. Now, as long as the person identifies the right word, you can put your operative on there and continue guessing. If you guess the wrong answer, for example, maybe they say code, that's the wrong one, and the other person gets to go. Or the blanks indicate innocent bystanders. So maybe they say log, you're saying nope, that's an innocent bystander, and then it becomes the other team's turn. In the two-player game, instead of another team guessing, each time a turn passes, the spy master is just going to place one of the blue operatives or the opposing team operatives. They're just going to place a card on one of the words. Now they can be very strategic about that. So looking at the board here, she got the answer wrong. Now it's the other team's turn. And instead of them getting to play, I just cover up a word with an operative. So essentially that gives us 8 turns to try to figure out all of the words. So you're kind of racing against how many turns you play. That makes sense. If your operative identify the assassin, in this case it's this word here, ironically poison, then you lose. automatically. So you want to try to avoid words that would direct your operative to the assassin card, because that's an instant loss. If all of the enemy agents are played, like this, before you guess all your words, then you lose. So as you can see, you're racing against the number of rounds. So you have to get your words in 8 or less rounds to win. If you're able to do that, you win. If you don't, you lose. If you get the spy, you lose. So just to review, if you get the word that's yours, that belongs to your operative, you put a red card on it, and you can continue. If you get an innocent bystander, your turn ends, and in the 2-player game, you lay a blue card down. The spy master gets to pick where the blue card goes down. If you do get the word, you place a red card on top of that word and continue guessing. If you get the assassin, game's over. So you're trying to beat the other team. Just a couple of rules. Your clue must have meaning related to the word that you're trying to get the other person to guess. Letters and numbers are valid clues as long as they refer to meanings. You must play in English, and you can't say any form of the visible word on the table or any compound of the word. How well you did in a 2-player game depends on how many of the other field operatives were used. So if you were able to get all of your words and there were 8 field operatives that were not used, well, that is difficult to believe. So based on how many field operatives are left and not played is your score, and that determines how well you play the game. Of course, if you lose, you lose. But that's how you play a 2-player game of CodeNames.